the, what do I want to call it, the, like one of the kits, that kind of material for the project, because like I said, I don't like wool or cotton yarn because it just splits so easy and I can't get the stitches to look good. So I had to use that. So that's what I've used for all of it, except for the sandwich and the worms. But I just think that is the cutest little thing. He's just sitting there eating his worm sandwich, minding his own business, and he's just so cute. So no one's going to want to pay for that one though, so I will be keeping that one. And this is by Cottontail Whiskers. So cute. The next item I'm going to show you, I'm not sure if I've already showed you or not, but I don't believe I have, because I had it at the salon for a while, and one of them sold, one of them didn't, and I did have them kind of high because they took some work, but it was Crochetgrove's Giraffe. Now, when you look at the pictures and you look at what I made, you'll notice that the neck is a lot longer, and that's because giraffes have long neck, they have long legs, and quite frankly, it needed a longer neck. So that's what I did. I just took the liberty of putting a longer neck on it. But it's just the cutest little thing. And then I just sewed on, I just did like a magic circle with 6 or so, stop, she likes to lick, 6 or so single crochets in them, and then just sewed them on. And the other one I actually did where you just come up through the fabric and just do it like 4 or 5 times, like when you're embroidering eyes, and made a circle patches all over it. So one or the other, it doesn't really matter, but it's not in the pattern, so I just went ahead and put them on myself that way. So I like that a lot. Crochetgrove has so many nice patterns, and I bought just about every single one of them, which is not good, but I did. I want to get into where I can have some hanging plants, some flowers, but both of those are small hook, small yarn, and tedious, and you're not going to get paid for the time you put into it for a lot of them, at least not the time I put into them. I don't know if that's something I'm going to be able to do or not. However, I did make a bird on a swing. They have a lot of people do the swinging from the rearview mirror, the swinging animals, and I did a parakeet because I used to have parakeets years ago, but I just think it's so cute, and it's called Budget the Parakeet, and it's done by Pocket Snuggles, and then the bird swing is by another artist. It's in the pattern, I can't remember, but anyhow, that is where the pattern for the perch came, and so I just went by that and put my little bird on there. I made about 4 or 5 of them, sold a couple at the last the Oxford market, so they're just cuter than anything. Now I do have another parakeet pattern. I haven't done it yet though, and when I do I'll let you know, but I think it might be a little more detailed, so it might look a little bit more realistic. The next thing is something I made early on, and I didn't take them to my last market, but I probably should have, but it was in October, and I thought, well, you know, it's past I took them to my first one in August, or wait, in June, and but I didn't take them to the second one, and I might have sold them. These also are done by Crochetgrove, and they're ducks, and they've got little ducks with a little inner tube. So this was for Pride. That's why the inner tube is Pride colors, and I just wanted to put a little inner tube on the guy. You can get them with the frog head or the duck head or all kinds of different heads. I just wanted just the inner tube. I thought that was really cute. And then I did the Mallard, and I was gonna make him a little towel or something to hang over his, or swing over his little shoulder or something, but or have him sitting on it or something, but I didn't. But those are just so cute. And that's just her little duck pattern, and ducks with floaties. I like the floaties. I think those, I like any little accessory that you can add to an animal and kind of give it a little more character. The next thing, I don't remember who, well, so I don't remember. I don't know how to pronounce her name. All these on Granny by Nature on one of their shows, or actually there's a couple of their videos that they've put them on because they sell really good for them. Don't know if they're going to sell for me or not, but I could not make it. And that's the little chicks in the in the chef's hat. Those are so cute. I don't know if I'm going to make it a keychain or maybe make it a little bit bigger and sell them individually, or I might do both. I don't know yet. I have not decided. But they are the cutest little things. Just the cutest little things. So I like those. I wanted to make a chef's hat for a while now, and it's not hard at all, and it is really cute. Next thing I want to show you are so cute. I've been wanting to make them for so long, and I just haven't. And that's the egg with the chicken side, the fluffy hair. And it comes out. So it's two different pieces, and then you can just close it up or pop it open. And I just usually have them sit there with their little beaks and little heads out. I made them in black, and then the one that I get I've heard most generally bought, the ones in yellow. I put a little black hair on him, a little mohair on him. And this one I like because it's a variegated with black, and it's kind of having the hair come out onto the shell. And that's this little ducky here. Or chick, not duck, chick. It's so cute though. I love these. And these are by Got You Hooked is the name of the person. And again, like always, I'll have these in the description. And then the last thing I've got for you today, like I said, I don't have a lot, but the last thing I have for you today, and these aren't by Crochetgrove. These are part of the Couch Brigade by All from Jade. And there's the chick with the little floofy hair on the top, which is just a little cutie. And then I also made the Mallard. He's squishy. So these are part of the Couch Brigade. She's got, I don't know she's got a lot of different birds, but basically it's one pattern with all these different birds and then the variations of how to make each one. So I don't know for sure. I know there's a red one. I can't remember. I think there's a rooster, but there's like 5 or 6 of them. And she just calls them the Couch Brigade. They are so cute and adorable. I just love their little squishiness. Awesome. So that's not very much, I know. I got to fix someone's nose. It's been hurt a little bit. But squishy squish. But I'll show you some more soon. Hopefully I can get some more made. Because I do need to get ready for my June market, which is months away. I'm still sitting good, sitting pretty, but I need to make my stock. I do need to get some stock built up, but I do want to get some of this other stuff done and caught up so that I don't feel like I've got so much that I have to worry about. I'll probably make this into 2, or I'll probably put a couple videos together because this is awful short. I feel like I'm cheating you, so I will get back with you when I've got some more things that I can show you. So it'll be a couple seconds for you. Well, we're back, aren't we, baby girl? We're back, and I've got a few more things to show you, and I've got a tip as well. You'll see a lot of things on Instagram or even on YouTube and things where people are trying to sell you on things that, oh, you got to have this for crochet, and just all kinds of different things. Some of them are good, some of them are just worthless. But there are times when you can kind of take it yourself and make your own things. So one of those things was, this is something I'm very big on because it's been so useful to me, and that is, when you're cutting off the ends of something that you finished, or you've got these little pieces, I'm talking little pieces left over, don't throw them away because you're wasting yarn, and you can use it to stuff your animals. What I'll do is I'll usually use stuffing and the material that I have left over and just stuff it in there, because it's going to save you on stuffing for one, and you're using up all your yarn. You're not just using up a little bit of it. Stop, please. Thank you. So one of the things that I didn't buy, I'm going to make my own, and that is I just took an old wet wipes little container, washed it out really good, dried it out really good, let it air out. And I'll either crochet something to go over it or use some contact paper to cover it up, cover the outside to make it look kind of nice. But what I do is I have it open in front of me every time when I'm yarning or when I'm doing anything. And I just take the bits and pieces, just the little itty bitty bits and pieces, and I keep it in there. It makes great stuffing for plushies. I don't stuff the plushies with just that because I want it to have a little more form than that. That would be too mushy. But that's what I put in a lot of them, because if I have it left over, I'm not going to let it go to waste. And the bigger pieces, of course, I keep in my yarn stash, which I might get the nerve to show you one of these days. I don't know, but not right now. So I wanted to show you a lot of the keychains I've made. I don't make a lot of the same ones. A lot of them have come off of Instagram for free, or some of them have come from YouTube. So I'll put in the descriptions for the ones that come from Instagram or from an actual seller. I really don't pay for these because they're so small. It doesn't seem like I should pay for them. Not for as teeny as they are, at least not the prices I've seen. So usually if I get any kind of keychain, it's off of Instagram or YouTube tutorial. So one of them I have is this little pig. Cutie patootie. He's so cute. And he's just a little piggy, that's all. And this was yarn I used, again, like I did that frog I had showed you, which is the, I don't know what they call it, if they call it sweatshirt or tubular or what they call it, but it's so much easier than using cotton because it doesn't split, and it just, if you use the right hook size, you're not going to have a lot of holes. So that's my little pig. Next, I made a lot of these baby octos, and so I thought, well, I need to make some baby octo keychains. Oops. So that's what I did. That's all. Just a little baby octo keychain. And then I made some ice cream cones. Some are not as good as others. Like this one's not all that great because it's not much of a scoop. They must have eaten a little bit of it. But I do have one that's a bit better. And again, this also was with the yarn that is like a tube. And then the only reason I made this was I thought maybe a teacher would come by, or maybe a kid would find it was cute and they could put it as a backpack buddy or something. But I just found it cute, so I made the pencil. Is it coming in focus okay? There we go. Just a little pencil with an eraser on top, little eyes. I made a book as well, but it got flattened, so I'm gonna have to get it back out and fix it. But there was a book and the pencil and a few other things. Now I have my pickle jar, and I have a lot of pickles in it, so I thought everybody's been talking about making them into keychains, so I did, and I just freehanded it. It's not something that's in anything, and I just made a pickle keychain. Cute little thing there. And then I live in Alabama. The SEC are huge on football, and Alabama's huge on football. I don't go for Alabama or Auburn. I go for Tennessee, but, you know, to each their own. But I made a football. It's kind of wonky on that, but that was a cute. And then that was with that same kind of yarn. This was actually with Premier, I believe. And I made a football with Premier. And the thing I like is I use a stitch, and I can explain it to you in another video probably, but I use a stitch to make it so you can't see the front, you know, the ending and all that as well. It's not as off-kiltered as a lot of them are. And this one looks like it just stopped. Just stopped. It didn't even go continuous. But it stopped on the same row, so. Now, these are, I know these are tutorials, and on YouTube, but you make them a lot bigger. I just happened to make them small, and I had one lady ask me for one, and she wanted it to look like it had tea in it instead of coffee, but they're so tiny. They're tiny. I will not charge as much as what I do the others, but because I usually do about $8.50 for my keychains, and these will of course not be that much because they're so much smaller. But one's got hot cocoa and one's got coffee, or maybe it's just a lot of cream in the coffee. But I've already sold one of those, and so that's why I made a couple more, was because she liked it. She didn't care that it was smaller. For the Halloween, I made a candy corn. I was going to make a candy corn pillow too, but I'm glad I didn't, because Halloween stuff just did not sell for me. I'm not going to say it doesn't sell, but it did not sell. And these things are the cutest little things. I've seen, and I want to make the dogs that they're hanging onto a bone, and the bone is part of the keychain. But I saw these frogs and thought that is the cutest thing I ever saw. Look at that. They got their tongue sticking out and got it stuck on a keychain. I think that is so adorable. And this is one I made for Pride, or for a kid even. I mean, my gosh, look at those colors. Those are just so bright and cheerful colors. But just a little frog with its tongue hanging out. And then I did make more than one of the octos, I guess, the baby octos, in a light blue. The other was in a pink. I did make another. I didn't really like that first pickle that I made, so I made another one. The keychain came off though, but it doesn't have a face or anything. It could, but it has, because of the pimples, do they call them? The bumps on them. So it could be a face if we want to make it a face, but it's just a pickle. And then I have, and I've sold a few of these to people at work as well. That's the little turtles. Just a little turtle keychain, small little itty bitty one. And then I have another another frog. Yep, I like the frogs. I thought they were so funny and cute, so I made quite a few of those. And then I see a lot of sunflowers, and like I said, I want to get into flowers and plants and things like that. And I just did this one, sunflower, and that is a YouTube tutorial. Just put in sunflower tutorial, and they'll show you how to make them. And these are the last ones that I've got that I enjoy, and they are, put some of these away so I don't lose them or anything. These are my favorites. They're so cute. They're so tiny though, but I got a little chick. It's just a cute little thing. Oh, just a cutie. And then this one came out so nice that I want to make more, because it really is nice. And that is the chicken. The chicken. I haven't made the Mabel chicken. I just make chickens, but because the pattern's fairly easy. So I just made a little baby one for my keychains. And again, the smaller ones aren't going to cost as much as the bigger ones, unless they've got a lot of complex stitches or something like that, or a lot of color changes. So I've got kind of a variation of prices on them. That way, anybody can get them. Either they're going to want the bigger ones, or they're going to not want to spend as much and they'll get a smaller one. But those are the keychains I've made so far. And I do have some jewelry that I've made. Not a lot, but some stitch markers and some earrings. Stitch markers aren't jewelry, but I just thought I've made some stitch markers and jewelry. And those will be up. I probably won't show you those because they're not crochet. But the stitch markers pertain to crochet, but they're not crocheted. So I probably won't show those. But they will be on my Etsy. So you can go to Etsy if you want to see what those look like. And that's basically it for now. I don't believe that there is anything else that I have to show you today. I want to talk about the yarn, because I don't want people to keep throwing away their yarn. That's the one thing I learned early on, is to keep your yarn ends and bits and pieces, that even if it's a little itty bitty piece, don't throw it away. Put it in one of these. And don't go out and buy a big container when you can use something that you already have, and just take the label off, clean it out real good, dry it out real good, and you can use that. As far as yarn goes, like a yarn holder, you can go, and I don't know if you've seen them or if you have them. I do, but it's just the round bottom with the hole in the middle for paper towels. You can use one of those. And then I saw the cutest DIY the other day. I didn't take down who it was, so I've forgotten who it was, but she was showing DIY projects, and I was like, my goodness. She took a wire hanger and cut it on the ends, but kept a little bit like so the hanger comes down like this, but she cut out the middle part, and I'm not sure what she put on it so that the yarn wouldn't get stuck, but then she just puts her yarn on there and then just pulls from it, and she hangs it from someplace in her yarn room, and I was like, that is so I'm gonna make some of those. So if I do, I will show you and I will share with you. But I thought that was a great idea, and if I can make something and it works that well, I could use that, because there's a lot of times that I'm sitting here and I'm having to move the thread, pull the thread, and I don't want to pay $30 for a bowl with a hole in it. Again, something that I can make that I don't want to have to pay for. And when you're pulling it out, the yarn out of the middle, sometimes it's okay, and sometimes you just get yarn barf, and it's so messy and so tangled, and it's just a mess to have to work with, and I don't like it. But I also don't like pulling from the outside, because then you have to keep moving it, or if it falls on the floor and rolls away, then you have to worry about running and getting your yarn and hoping you get to it before the cat does. Things like that. But I'm going to come up with some more quick little problem solvers, little things that gadgets that you can use or that you can make yourself and not have to spend money on, because we already spend it on yarn and our hooks. We shouldn't have to spend it on everything else, because we got to save wherever we can so we can sell our plushies and make some income. So I think that is all for today. I know it's a short one, sorry about that, but at least I got to come and say hi and see y'all. I don't have any stories to tell or anything neat today, but maybe in the next one I will. So switch it. Take all those negative, bad feelings, all those things that are coming in there, and just switch it up and turn them to positive. Take care of you and be nice.